Have you ever imagined that in the middle of a crowded city, surrounded by skyscrapers and endless traffic, there exists a lush green farm, stretching across thousands of square meters? Right on top of a roof? Sounds impossible? Today's video will prove it's real. So what are you waiting for? Let's explore how these urban farmers transform rooftops into thriving gardens. These gardens aren't just for decoration. Every year, they produce tens of tons of fresh vegetables, supplying restaurants, supermarkets, and city residents. In New York, Brooklyn Grange Farm spans 5,500 square meters, harvesting over 22,000 kilograms of produce annually. In Tokyo, more than 20% of new buildings are required to have green rooftops, helping reduce building temperatures by 2–3 degrees Celsius in the summer. This is no longer a crazy idea. It's a real solution for the future. Rooftop farming is a form of urban agriculture, where food is grown right on top of buildings. This model is booming in countries with high population density, where farmland is scarce and land prices are sky high. So why are rooftop farms becoming so popular? First, they make use of otherwise wasted urban space in cities where land is limited and expensive. Second, they help reduce the urban heat island effect, a phenomenon that makes cities hotter than rural areas. Research from the University of Toronto shows that green roofs can lower surrounding temperatures by 2 degrees Celsius to 4.5 degrees Celsius. On top of that, rooftop greenery can save 20%, 25% on air conditioning costs in summer, while providing fresh food right next to consumers, cutting down on transport expenses and CO2 emissions. What makes these farms special is how modern technology is turning them into advanced agricultural systems. Automatic drip irrigation saves up to 70% of water compared to traditional farming. Hydroponics and aeroponics eliminate the need for soil entirely, delivering 20–30% higher yields than conventional methods. Some farms even use IoT sensors to monitor moisture, light, and nutrients in real time, allowing farmers to manage everything right from their smartphones. Depending on the rooftop size and conditions, multiple cultivation methods can be applied: soil-based planting, hydroponics, or aquaponics. With direct soil planting, farmers divide raised beds for vegetables and herbs. Since carrying water up manually is impractical, irrigation systems are a must, typically drip irrigation with smart sensors to optimize water use and prevent waste. Rainwater harvesting is also possible, storing water in rooftop tanks for later use. But how are these rooftop crops consumed? The organic vegetables can be harvested, cleaned, and packaged for sale in organic food stores. Some store owners even grow produce on their own rooftops and sell it directly, cutting costs and increasing profits. Restaurants in the same building or nearby often purchase these fresh vegetables, serving dishes harvested just hours before. It's no wonder organic produce is always a consumer favorite. Of course, rooftop farming faces challenges. First is structural load. Roofs must be reinforced to handle the extra weight of soil, water, and plants. Second, the initial investment is not cheap. Setting up a hydroponic system on 100 square meters can cost between $8,000 and $12,000. Finally, success requires skilled teams with plant care knowledge. Without it, productivity drops significantly. Still, the potential is enormous. The United Nations predicts that by 2050, 68% of the world's population will live in cities. As demand for clean food rises, rooftop farming won't just be a trend, it will be a strategic solution for food security. Singapore is already leading the way. The government set a goal of producing 30% of its own food by 2030, investing millions into urban agriculture, including rooftop farms. What do you think about these incredible rooftop farms? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear them. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.
Surely, many of us are familiar with hydroponic farms. However, the farming activity below will surprise you because it is different from other hydroponic farms. Yes, before our eyes is a unique form of farming that has been taking place in rural areas of Bangladesh for decades. Farmers can grow vegetables and even sow seedlings on beds floating on the water's surface. Is this a bed made of soil? And why does it float like that? All will be in this video. Please join us to explore. Bangladesh is a country prone to floods and waterlogging, which inundate 2/3 of its land area every year, most of which is agricultural land. This can lead to food insecurity as agriculture is one of the largest contributors to Bangladesh's GDP. To cope with the climate challenges and ensure food security during the flood season, Bangladeshi farmers have come up with a unique method of growing crops based on a common plant, the water fern. Currently, there are more than 2,000 farming households in the south and southwest of Bangladesh developing agricultural economy from this model. To create floating beds, farmers use layers of plants such as water hyacinth, duckweed, or rice stalks to decompose, forming beds that float on the water surface. They are then mixed with mud and cow dung for the plants to grow. On these beds, farmers grow fruits and vegetables, and crops such as turmeric and ginger are also grown by farmers. At first glance, this farming method seems relatively simple, but in reality, it takes a lot of time and effort, because farmers need to do all the work by themselves without any support from equipment or machinery. Farmers usually collect water hyacinth from wetlands, and the floating beds are built with 3 to 5 layers of water hyacinth, layer by layer, from bottom to top, until the desired height of the bed is reached. After 5 to 7 days, the old beds will become compact due to the decomposition of water hyacinth. After the beds are formed, farmers use layers of mature water hyacinth to form the foundation for the upper surface of the floating beds. The length of each bed is usually 15 to 20 meters, and the width is 1.3 to 1.8 meters, depending on the cultivation areas. After the floating beds are designed, farmers will proceed to plant. Depending on the variety of crops, farmers will directly sow seeds or prepare specialized pots to grow seedlings. Pots are made from decomposed water hyacinth to grow seeds of vegetables, tubers, and fruits. It is locally called tema or mada and is used as a growing environment for seedlings. After the tema develop into seedlings, they are planted on raised beds. During this process, farmers can also apply cow dung or urea fertilizer to help the plants grow best. After planting, farmers still need to continue daily care to ensure the best growth of the plants. If the floating beds dry out, they need to be watered daily to help them grow and develop. Weeds are also removed from the floating beds to limit pests and damage from birds or rats. When the crops reach optimal conditions, farmers harvest them. Crop products such as vegetables and spices are often consumed by farming households. In addition, they sell a large amount of surplus produce at local markets to earn extra money to cover their daily living expenses. Farmers who practice this method say they can earn an average profit of $140 per 100 meters squared of raised beds from crop production. Not only that, it also has many advantages such as low cost and reduced risk from natural disasters. Floating beds use locally available raw materials, so there is no need for expensive initial costs. In particular, water hyacinth is often classified as one of the worst invasive species, and its application in agricultural cultivation not only helps farmers stabilize their economy, but also ensures that the local ecosystem is maintained. Researchers also estimate that floating vegetable production is 10 times higher than growing vegetables on land on the same area. Because this method allows for better control of crops, it also limits some common diseases on crops. Farmers also use very little chemical fertilizers and pesticides, minimizing negative impacts on the environment. Most importantly, it contributes to food security in many disaster-prone states in Bangladesh. When large areas of agricultural land are flooded, this method of farming on floating beds has become the main source of food for people in the region. Perhaps in the future, many places in the world will strongly develop this model to increase crop yields and stabilize livelihoods for communities living in river areas.
Do you know how many tons of waste are produced from pineapple farms around the world each year? The terrible number will surely surprise anyone. With such a huge amount of waste, it causes serious environmental pollution risks. To solve this situation, people have researched recycling methods to treat waste from pineapple farms. Now, let's explore with us how farmers turn pineapple peels into money. According to the report, the global pineapple production reached nearly 32 million tons, of which the Asia-Pacific region is the largest pineapple producer, accounting for 41% of the global production with 13 million tons. To achieve such high output, farmers have applied a combination of traditional and modern farming methods. Farmers have combined advanced farming techniques, optimized planting density, selected high-yielding varieties, and effectively managed post-harvest processes to increase pineapple yields. Farmers said that traditional pineapple cultivation yields around 50-60 tons ha, but with high-density planting, yields can reach 80-100 tons ha, bringing great benefits to pineapple farmers. In particular, farmers only need to plant pineapples once but can harvest continuously for 3 years. After the first harvest, they can harvest again every 4 months. Farmers harvest pineapples by hand when the fruit has reached the right level of ripeness. The timing of harvest is determined by the color, size, and aroma of the fruit. Farmers use a sharp knife to cut the stem of the fruit, leaving some of the leaves on the fruit to protect it during transport. Harvesting is usually done in the early morning or cool afternoon to avoid high temperatures, helping to preserve the quality of the fruit better. After harvesting, pineapples are graded according to size and quality. Qualified fruit is cleaned and carefully packaged for transport to the consumer market or processing plant. Pineapples are processed in modern processing plants that produce millions of packaged pineapple products. Workers select fresh, ripe, undamaged pineapples and clean them to remove dirt. Machines remove the skin, eyes and core of the pineapples, and automated lines also cut the pineapples into pieces and package them. So, do you know how many tons of pineapple peels are discarded each year by pineapple processing plants? The pineapple processing process produces waste that accounts for about 60% of the weight of the original pineapple in the form of peels, cores, tips and pulp. Therefore, every year tons of pineapple waste are released into the environment. They can be decomposed into organic fertilizer, but in fact, if not processed, they will cause many environmental problems. In recent years, researchers have turned pineapple peels from waste into bioenergy sources such as bioethanol along with animal feed and worm castings. Pineapple peels are rich in fiber and nutrients and are an excellent supplement to livestock feed. They are often used as feed for pigs, cattle and poultry after being chopped, and are sometimes fermented to improve digestion in livestock. In some places, pineapple waste is mixed with other agricultural byproducts to create cost-effective livestock feed. You may not know, pineapple peel contains a large amount of organic matter that can be fermented to produce biogas, which can be used as a renewable energy source. Some industries extract ethanol from pineapple waste through fermentation, to use as biofuel. Producing ethanol from pineapple peels not only helps to utilize agricultural byproducts but also brings many economic, environmental, and energy benefits. It helps to reduce dependence on fossil fuels, in line with the sustainable development strategies of many countries, especially in developing and agricultural countries. Nowadays, many countries are encouraging the use of biofuels to reduce emissions and protect the environment. Pineapple peels are fermented to make pineapple vinegar, a probiotic-rich product used in cooking and health drinks. In some regions, they are used to make pineapple wine or kombucha. Some companies process pineapple peels to create vegan leather alternatives, such as Pinatex, an eco-friendly leather alternative. We have just finished following today's topic. How do you feel? Leave your comments below to let us know. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're venturing into a lush and fertile region of Indonesia, the homeland of a truly strange and exotic fruit you may have never seen before, Salak, also known as snake fruit. The name alone is enough to send a chill down your spine, right? But don't be too quick to judge. Beneath that scaly, snake-like exterior lies a one-of-a-kind flavor, a fascinating agricultural story, and surprising economic potential. If you love discovering unique things or are on the lookout for fresh agricultural investment ideas, then this video is definitely for you. Salak or snake fruit is native to Indonesia and widely cultivated in regions like Bali, Java, and Sumatra. It gets its reptilian nickname from its reddish-brown, scaly skin that resembles snake scales, sometimes even with tiny spines. Inside that rugged shell is a pale, segmented flesh that looks like garlic cloves. The taste? Crisp, mildly sweet, sometimes with a tangy kick. Think of a mix between apple, jackfruit, and pineapple, an unexpectedly addictive flavor combo. We are in Sleman, Yogyakarta, one of the most famous salak growing areas in Indonesia. There are more than 30,000 hectares of salak cultivation land in Indonesia, and the yield can reach hundreds of thousands of tons per year. During our research, we discovered that there are many types of salak, each with its own unique flavor and characteristics. For example, Salak Pondo has a rich sweet taste, crunchy, less sour, the most popular and the pride of the Sleman people. Or Salak Bali, this fruit will be softer, juicy, with a slightly sour aftertaste, often used as a dessert or salad. Salak Gula Pasir, a special type of salak, super sweet, extremely rare, priced up to $10 kg, mainly serving the high-end market. And there are many other types of salak. Locals tell us that salak trees can be grown from shoots and form clumps within 6 months. However, they only begin fruiting after 2-3 years. Once they do, they can be harvested year-round. A healthy, mature tree can produce between 20-40 fruits per harvest cycle with proper care. Because the trees are low-growing and the fruit hangs near the ground, harvesting is done entirely by hand. Farmers must carefully navigate through thorny bushes to avoid injury, a process that makes harvesting both challenging and exciting. Salak isn't just a curious fruit for tourists to gawk at, it's also a high-value crop. According to farmers here, 1 hectare of salak can yield an income of around $2,000 to $4,000 per year, depending on the variety, fruit quality, and market conditions. Indonesia now exports salak to countries like Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand, and is expanding into European and North American markets in the form of fresh fruit, dried snacks, jams, and juices. The premium gula pasir variety is especially in demand due to its sweetness and rarity, often found in upscale restaurants and hotels. On top of that, processed salak products like wine, jam, tea, and even salak-based cosmetics are emerging as a new trend in the region. One thing that impressed us is that many salak farms have transformed into experiential tourism destinations, called agrotourism. Tourists, especially foreigners, are excited to pick salak by themselves among the thorny bushes, or enjoy fresh salak on the spot, or participate in a class to make salak jam, salak juice, etc. With the characteristics of being easy to grow, having few pests and diseases, being able to be cultivated organically and harvested year-round, salak has the potential to become a strategic agricultural product, not only for Indonesia but also for countries developing tropical agriculture. If invested in the right direction in processing, preservation and branding, salak can reach as far as other fruit superstars such as durian, mango or dragon fruit. Agricultural investors and startups can see this as a potential industry to develop agricultural tourism and the value chain of indigenous products. 7.